Hello, this is Becca from Willow Hill Designs, and today I am sharing my Down the Garden Path, Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, and I'll be sharing the prompt for fountain. And the prompts were fountain or pond, and because I had already done a pond, I thought I would add a fountain or a spring to my little pond here. So I just decided that this pond formed from a little natural spring, and it's springing up some refreshing water here for this little swan. I think I've named her Susan the Swan. And the thread that I used for that is Sulky, and it's Sulky Hollow Shimmer. It's really a beautiful thread. It's flat. It's almost like tinsel, but has just a beautiful sheen to it, and it's very delicate. And then that was for the water coming up, and then for the little droplets of water, I used the Sulky metallic thread. And that's a beautiful thread as well. This doesn't fray or split like a lot of metallic threads do. So that worked out nicely. So I just drew some lines with a friction pen for the water coming up, spouting up. And I used, I'll just get my little board here. This makes it easier to hold it flat. And I just used an outline stitch to stitch this. It was very easy to stitch with. Just like any other thread, you have to watch when it twists and just make sure to untwist it. So I did an outline stitch with that. And then I put in some little water droplets as they come down, as the water splashes down, with some of the silver metallic Sulky. And I also outlined some of the little ripples in the water where the swan is swimming. So I just thought she probably loves to come here and get refreshed and swim in the little pond and Miss Lucy's path. So that is how I decided to interpret the fountain prompt. And that was fun. And now the next prompt that we got today was for a bird's nest or a tree. So I'm debating if I'd like to add another tree or not, but I think I have a cute idea for a bird's nest. But being that this is the end of my roll here, this is the end here, I really don't have much room to put a nest and kind of do anything with it. So I think I'm going to add on that piece of fabric here. And because I'll need probably about 2.5 to 3 inches for the idea that I have for the nest. So that will probably go in the end of my roll. So this was a very easy one for me this week, to just do a little, have some extra thread there, to do a little fountain or a little spring in the pond that was already here. And right now I'll just take a few minutes because one of my subscribers had asked me to show how I did these flowers here. Did some of these flowers, the tulips, and some of the other little star flowers, I was calling them. She wanted to see how to do that. So I'll just do a quick demonstration of how I accomplished those. And let's see, I think I have 4 strands of thread here on my needle, but in the piece I use just 2 strands of thread, again, because the scale of my piece is small, but according to anyone else's scale, I mean, they can do whatever fits their scale best. So just I come up from the back and just make as if you were making a lazy daisy. Make a loop and bring that loop down as small as you'd like it. I guess I'll make my tulip about that big, coming up from the bottom, and just pull till your lazy daisy is about the size that you would like it, and put your tack stitch back down to hold it. And then, depending on the size of my tulip, you just come in right at the center and come up, and if that fills it, you only need 1 stitch. If not, you can put in a couple of others. This is a bigger tulip than I did, so I only needed 1 stitch to fill mine in. But on this one, I'll do 2 or 3. That's 2. So that kind of looks like a tulip to me. And that would be these here. These little flowers, the blues, the purples. There are some orange ones, red. So very simple. Again, that's how I did the tulip stitch. Another little flower that I did was a kind of a star flower, where I just went up from the center and down, from the center and then over into the center, and it just gives sort of a little star-shaped looking flower. So that was one that I did. Some of these are very tiny. Maybe you can see them there. These little purple ones here are done like that. And then to do a flower, let me just clip this green off. Then to do a full star flower, you can just, again, come up from the center. I'm sorry, in line, centering it over the stem. Come down, and then just do kind of a, excuse me, a star coming across. And then coming up in between those 2 posts and down. And again, up in between those 2 posts and down. And you have a little star flower like that. And you can also make a star flower by just coming up, going down in the center. If you have a bigger flower, coming up in line with that, going down in the center. And then, let me just try to lower this. My children are always texting when I'm doing a video. Sorry about that. Go down in the center and go down in the center. And then again, coming between those two posts, go down in the center, between the two posts, come down in the center, and between these two posts as well, and one more, one last one, down in the center, and another star flower. Just really easy ways of putting some extra little flowers and greenery along your path. And one other thing that I thought I would show, one other flower, is a rose. And let's see, I had put a few of these roses over here, right here. These are ribbon roses here, and they are very easy as well, and they kind of add a little bit of color to your path. So I thought I would share those as well. And you just take your a needle with a large eye, probably a tapestry needle, and when you thread it, just take your, this is a 4mm ribbon, you can probably use a larger, just pierce the end of your ribbon like that, pierce it, and just pull it down, and that secures your ribbon to your needle. It's secured to your needle. I suppose I could show you on here. So that shouldn't pull off. And then I just make a quilter's knot. I know some people tie by hand, but I just make a little quilter's knot at the end. Pull it down. And to make this ribbon rose, it's fairly easy. Just come up from the back and then decide on the size of the flower that you would like to make. And I usually do about 2, maybe 2.5 inches, and just make a little knot wherever you think you want your flower to be. So I would just bring this knot maybe about here. So if you can see that, there's a little knot in that. And then you just hold your ribbon in your hand, take your needle, and just as if you're doing a running stitch, just pierce the fabric going down, maybe taking 1/4 inch little running stitches on your ribbon. Keep going down the ribbon all the way down to the end, and once you get to the end of your ribbon, it's kind of gathered up on your needle, and you just go down next to where you came up and pull, and there's your little ribbon rose. Really very easy. So I just thought I would share those stitches for Melody, who asked, and hopefully, I'm pretty sure it was Melody. And so I will thank you very much for joining. I apologize. I'm so sorry. I'm always on these texts. And my daughter-in-law and my daughters, when they get going, they go for a while. Oh, my apologies. I'm so sorry. But thank you. I better go. Thank you very much for joining me today, and I'm wishing you many blessings. Bye for now. Well, this is a little close-up that I had intended to do of the ribbon roses. and didn't do it because of all the text messages coming through. I knew I had to end that video quickly. Oh, my children. And here is my natural spring in the little pond where Susan is swimming. And here is a close-up of some of the wildflowers that Melody had asked me to demonstrate. Just some simple little stitches that I think are effective and add something to our garden path. So thanks again for watching, and bye for now.